I didn't know where Ghana was. I was thinking, am I making the right choice by moving here? I think you cannot come to Ghana the way you travel in other continents.
So how is marriage with a Ghanaian man?
Oh my gosh.
One strategy I've adopted in my journey to permanently find my way back to Ghana, my motherland, is to learn from the experience of others. As the saying goes, the wise man learns from the mistakes of others. In this video, I speak to a wonderful Iranian woman whose love for a Ghanaian man brought her to Ghana 3 years ago. This insightful conversation opened my eyes to a lot of issues in Ghana, and I hope you find it useful too. My name is Mickey. Keep watching.
How did you end up here?
In Ghana?
In Ghana.
Ghanaian man.
Ghanaian
Ghana man. My husband. My husband was the reason. I didn't know where Ghana was I'm originally from Iran. And when I was in Iran, I didn't know where Ghana was. I only heard the name of Ghana in a football match, right?
Definitely.
It was like World Cup or something. That was the first time I was like, Ghana? Where is Ghana? And I remember the very first time I was living in Iran for China, that's when I wanted to study my bachelor's.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
What was your bachelor in?
Arts design, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, graphic design, but they call it something else, but yeah, graphic design. So when I was in the plane, the person who sat next to me was a Ghanaian, leaving Iran to China for the very first time, leaving country for the first time. And I started crying because I was like so scared to go there alone and like being away from my family for the first time. And then he started like comforting me. He's like, oh, what's wrong? And to him, he thought something is wrong with me, like something bad has happened. Because I noticed Ghanaian girls, they never cry when you leave the country. Have you ever seen someone crying at the airport in Ghana? It's like, yes, I'm leaving Ghana, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, it was weird to him. Why would someone cry? He said like, oh, has something happened to you? And I'm like, no, I miss my family. And it took him like 30 seconds, like, you just left the airport? How are you missing them? And that's the first time I interacted with someone from Ghana. And he left such a good impression on me that I was like, wow, I really want to travel to this country one day. But like nothing serious, you know, you see someone. And the first month I was in China, I met my husband. Okay. My now husband.
So what? So in a way, it was in your head I need to meet
I think he made me feel open-minded towards Ghanaians.
Okay.
Like I was already okay. So the moment I found out my husband was Ghanaian, I was like, oh, I have a Ghanaian friend.
I want to know more.
Yeah. So we talked, and yeah. So that's how the relationship started. And then we stayed together. He didn't want to come back. He was one of the typical Ghanaian mindset of like, once you leave the country, you leave the country. Yeah. But I think after some years, he started really seeing the difference between Ghana and China. And like, he wanted to come back and, hi, Chitana. He wanted to bring something back to the country. He felt like, why can't his family or friends have access to things that he has access to in China? So the idea started that he wants to come back. But I think he didn't know what was ahead of him. He just wanted to come back without really knowing what's up. And then when he came back, I think it was a whole different thing here.
So what was the decision like? Did you guys have to decide?
I knew I didn't want to come.
Oh, you didn't? No.
So yeah, the truth is we came in 2017 to see everything. And that's what I was mentioning. When we came in 2017, even the way people treated him was different. Even his friends.
Is it like
burger?
Burger, yeah.
Oh, Chale, let's go out, let's have fun.
You are the one with the juice card.
We were invited to places every day. We were somewhere, and now that we are living, it's not like that. Like people. I just think maybe also because we were traveling, right? Yeah. It was interesting to go. But I think he had that idea that when he comes back, like he will be around people, like things are moving. But it's not the case.
But even for me, I don't move around a lot.
Oh, okay.
That is one of the ways to survive in Ghana.
Not to move. Really? But I'm
not
really
to
like.
not to sort of, oh, I'm visiting this person, you know, because you'll be treated like a burger and you have to show the sauce, have to give money.
Yeah, but my point is, the moment they feel like the juice is not there,
Then it's
then
even
you're
better.
not.
But if you want to survive in Ghana in a way, you need
Maybe,
that.
yeah, maybe. But for me, I would
So
just.
how has the experience been?
So what I'm saying is, in 2017, it wasn't a nice experience.
Okay.
I didn't like it. I'm not going to lie. I'm sorry.
Oh
I
no,
can't
no, no,
lie.
no, it's alright.
I didn't like it, and I think it was a.
What was it? What was it? What was
First
the
of all, we
experience?
came in December, so that's like the most fun time of the year. The outing scene was very different from what it is now. I think there were like 2 or 3 clubs or bars. Like there weren't many options the way it is now. You don't even know where
Is that
to
why you
spend
didn't
your
like
money.
it?
No, like there was nothing interesting. Like we went to a bar and we just had fun for a night or 2. But like it was a different weird vibe. They brought strippers in not the strippers, like dancers. We were in Soho, I think. It was in a.
So we've got Soho
Marino.
in Ghana.
No, like the Ghana
Something
Soho.
like
I think
that.
it was
Oh,
called
okay.
Soho. I'm not sure the name,
Yeah.
but I remember it was in around Marina Mall.
Oh, okay.
But then they were bringing like all these dancers, like Russian dancers, and it was a different vibe. Like I didn't enjoy. And then my husband wanted to take me to a trip, so he took me to Cape Coast. And the first thing was like the slavery dungeons. I don't call it castle. I don't know why people call it. It's a dungeon, right? And it was too heavy. Like I was crying the whole day from the moment we arrived to that place till we left. Like I didn't enjoy it. I was like, what? And mostly what annoyed me was that they were saying like the people helped them. It wasn't only the foreigners. It was the people. So it was a difficult concept for me to understand. And I think overall it was just like too hot. I started having rashes. I was just not mentally prepared for where I was going. So whenever I hear someone wanting to come to Ghana, I'm like, you have to mentally be prepared.
Yeah.
Just don't come, you know, because it's cute and it's nice. So that's when we left, I told him I will never move to Ghana. I might travel 1 or 2 more times with you, but that's it. And it really hurt him. Up to now, he says, like, that really hurt me what he said.
Even though you're here.
Yeah, like he was saying back then, because he felt like he's with someone that would never travel to his country again. But then when I came in 2019 to visit him, because he was already in Ghana for a year, so I came to visit him. Because I had the idea of what I'm going to see, I was open and I enjoyed. Like 2019 was my year.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed.
Is that when you started making Ghana my beautiful home? Ghana my new home.
Yeah.
What prompted
No.
that?
It was in 2020. It was after the lockdown.
Okay. What prompted that
Lockdown.
series? Lockdown.
Yeah. I was thinking, am I making the right choice by moving here? Am I going to regret it? Is it the best option? And I started meeting people, other foreigners, and I would ask them their story. And I was like, wow, so this person moved to Ghana because of this. It makes so much sense. So let me just make a video about it. And I kept interviewing people to just give that information to others.
So you think it grew on you because of your expectation? You managed your expectation before coming to Ghana for the second time?
Yes.
And that's when you started enjoying it more?
Yeah, I think you cannot come to Ghana the way you travel in other continents, right? Like you cannot compare the way you travel in Asia or Europe and the convenience that comes with it to Ghana. You don't come here for a convenient trip. You come here for seeing something you don't see elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the part I was not seeing. Like I wanted the standard of everything that I was looking for. Meanwhile, why are you here looking for that
stuff?
Yeah, like enjoy what is available, right? What is available here is beautiful. But if you put that glasses of I want that standard, no, you won't enjoy it. That's
so do you live here now?
Yes, for 3 years now.
You've been here for 3 years.
Yes.
Challenges?
Plenty.
Hit me. See, I was born in Ghana, right? And whenever I watch people, saying, oh, Ghana is this, Ghana is... And I feel like it's either you are so rich and you can just get everything like that,
Or you're
or
easygoing. Some
you are
people just
easygoing.
easygoing.
Yeah. So what would you say?
I'm not easygoing.
You're
That's
not
one thing I
easygoing.
know about
Okay.
myself.
How do you
Like
mean
I
that?
think I'm a very critical person.
Okay.
Right? So I'm not someone who doesn't see the problem in someone. So I think I cannot see only the good thing.
Yes.
I see good and bad, and that comes with challenges. So I'm not easygoing, but what worked for me was that I changed my perspective. And when I started seeing things from the perspective of Ghanaians, I felt like I was seeing everything wrong before that.
Okay.
So like I changed the way I looked at things, and it made so much sense. That's
Is
what
it possible to give an example of a situation where you saw things in the Ghanaian? Because I want to know how Ghanaians see things.
Okay, let's say anywhere in the world, you wake up 7 a.m., you will never find someone smiling.
Okay.
It's impossible. Like in my country, people are frowning. Like, you know, not everyone is a morning person. But here you see people smiling. And at first it was exotic. Oh, I love the smile of Ghanaians. But after a while you understand it's a mindset.
Yeah.
Yes, life is difficult. Yes, I'm suffering. But I choose not to be angry about
Be
it.
angry about it, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, the perspective.
And it's very true. It's something that I also have. Because I work with a lot of foreigners, right?
Okay.
And some of the stuff people get angry about and people get upset about.
Yeah, like
I'm sat there
chill.
thinking, I'm like, what? Nobody wants to come out on your birthday.
Yeah.
I've never celebrated one.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? I've never celebrated a birthday.
When is your birthday?
I'll tell you off camera. And yeah, stuff like that. So it's the resilience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it builds your resilience.
That's what I'm saying. Like people can come here and be like, oh, I love how Ghanaians live. No, they choose to live this way. You know, they say like, why Ghanaians are sarcastic about the problems. What else can you do? Like laugh. Presidents does something weird, just laugh at him, you know? And I think that's something that is lacking in many other places. I won't say everywhere in the world, but many other places, people take life so seriously.
Any challenges? One big
Challenge.
challenge for you. If you have to change anything.
Challenges.
Or let's say I'm coming, right? I've called you, I've never been to Ghana. And later I'm coming to Ghana, what should I prepare myself for?
I would first look at where you come from. Unfortunately, the race matters here, right? You cannot say it doesn't matter. The experience you will have as an African American is different from an experience you will have as a Lebanese here, right? And the experience that Chinese get here. I worked with Chinese
What would be the difference between the experience as a black Afro-American to an Asian? Like,
it has good and bad, right? Like the sort of connection that you get to this place as an African American is different from the connection I get, right? For you is your history, let's say, as an African American. You have to learn it. You have to go through the process, emotional process of it. For me, I come here, I'm like, okay, right? So our experiences are different. The way people are towards someone coming from a first world or developed country is very different from third world country. I say I'm from Iran and they're like, hey, oh, there's war there, right? You know, like that kind of, and I laugh, right? Because what else can I do, right? Okay, let's laugh, let's have fun. But I don't think African Americans
is there
get
war
that.
in Iran?
No.
But
Even
people
it
seem
used to be in
think,
Iraq, but it's now okay, right? But there is war in Ukraine, but you don't see someone from Poland and you're like, oh, there's war in your country. No, it's Ukraine. Like, I'm sorry, there are countries.
So in a way, I have this thing when a lot of people talking about racism, and I'm like, there's classism in my country.
Yeah.
And there is some racism,
Yeah.
a bit of stereotype.
Yeah, and I
Would
think
you
that,
say that?
Yes, definitely. And that's why I get in trouble with a lot of diasporans here, because they kind of, I feel like they impose the problems that they are facing in their society, which is valid, but it's not what Ghanaians are facing. It's not about your race here, it's mostly about your class in society. I can be white, blonde, everything that you think is the problem here, but be poor and no one will mind me, right? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Very
it
true.
doesn't matter what race you are. As long as you don't have money, there is no respect for you.
Yeah.
And once you have money, like one of my friends, he's Ghanaian, and he bought a new car, a really good car. And I was telling him, like, from tomorrow you will see, like, people find you more funny, people
Yeah.
find you more interesting. All of a sudden, you know, that is the truth. And not only in Ghana, in my country is the
Yeah.
same, right? So the reason I said it's different where you come from is because a lot of these issues I face in my country. So it's not weird to me why there is classism. We always, like in Iran, you always have to carry your phone, like kind of to show, okay, I have iPhone 14, right? Here is the same. So I understand, but an American would not understand.
But do you think that is what makes us never able to build wealth? So in Ghana, we don't have companies that has been there for 100 years.
Club,
Club,
you know,
The
did I
beer.
since 19?
the
What?
beer.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe.
1969.
But is it Ghanaian owned? I don't know.
Yes, I think so.
Is it?
Someone was saying. I mean, of course.
Anyway,
it cannot
I
be
have a
true.
theory. I'm thinking because you need to show your class so much, as soon as you start making profits, we want to buy the latest Range Rover
Yeah.
instead of putting it back into the company and giving good customer service. And, you know, we want to get more women. I don't know, maybe some people see that to be a show of power and wealth. I don't know. So you see, there are a lot of, we have Apiamenka. They were big.
What is that?
Apiamenka used to do like Apino soup, and like it was a medicated soup. Big. Their cattlers used to do cattlers, had
So you mean
houses
that's
all
why-
over.
I just noticed
As soon as
Club
they
also
died.
hasn't been there. It's also because your independence is 60 years. You have been independent for 6 years. So,
So
all
we
the
should wait and
companies,
see if despite will go.
I think that you
after
are
he's-
just finding your place. Like, you cannot compare it to a country that forever and ever they've been on their own. You are 60 years.
Even individuals, right? Individuals who are working in a bank will take a loan and buy an expensive car, thinking they are rich already, because that's the only way they will be respected.
Yeah, these are the problems.
Yeah. So you know when you said you have to look rich, people before people. Yeah. I think we end up eating our eggs now before they hatch. Because when you are eating the eggs, people think, oh yeah, he's rich.
I hear you.
So
And
so now you've told me, look where you come from, you might be treated differently. Then what else
This
to
is
prepare
a
me to come
challenge.
to Ghana?
The classism that you said, not everyone can be okay with that. Not everyone can. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a process that Ghana is going through, like many other countries are going through. We will get over it, but it takes a while.
What about finances? How do I prepare myself financially to come to Ghana?
The biggest challenge is the finances, actually, more than anything else, because the quality of life that you have experienced in UK, let's say, you can have it here, definitely, even maybe better, but you end up spending way more than what you would spend outside, right? So when I was working with a Chinese company, I was earning same salary that I was earning in China. But
You were working in here with a Chinese
company.
Okay, doing what?
Translation, right? I was translating here. But the money was the same. And my life quality was not the same. Not because I wasn't earning enough money, the money was good, but I ended up spending most of my money on Uber, right? Meanwhile, in China, I would just put like 20 CD in my transportation card. The whole month, I can travel anywhere I want. I have to spend a lot of money to buy clothes if I want new clothes. Yes, of course, Kantamanto is cheap. But if I want new clothes, it doesn't make sense the money I spend on them, right? Like, it's actually cheaper for me to post it from China to Ghana rather than buying the clothes in Ghana, which doesn't make sense, right? So I feel like to have a house that you have constant power, constant water, constant Wi-Fi, you end up spending a lot, right? And things can happen. Let's say the place I'm staying is good, like it has power and water, and I'm spending more than what I used to spend in China on that, right? The water stopped working, and the Ghana Water Company is like, oh, we cannot come now, maybe next month. It was Christmas and all those, so they still haven't come, right? Every week we have to buy water, 200 Ghana cedi. So in a month we are like spending 800
So you need some sort of income, a lot of income.
dollar income, because we are living in a country that you're spending cedis, but the costs are in dollars.
Yeah.
You're earning cedi, but you spend dollars, right? So you cannot come with 1,000 Ghana cedi and expect life to work for you. It's people do it, and I salute them, but it's impossible to me. Right?
Especially if you're used to a different kind of lifestyle.
Exactly. So you compromise. Then you rent a house that is not that safe. You rent a house that doesn't have constant power or constant water. Then you're good, but you lower the quality of your life, right? So the quality that was given to me, let's say in China, for a very low price, I have to spend a lot of money to get the same in Ghana. That's the biggest problem, I think. And then you make people feel like they're asking too much. Is it too much to have a nice road? Is it too much to have all these things available to you? So that's, I think, is a difficult part.
So how do you combat that?
I think it's okay now. But I told you I used to work with a Chinese company, right? And they were paying me okay. And the biggest challenge for me quitting that job was that, finances. Like, what will happen to me after, right? Am I going to rely on my husband the whole time? You know, and I hate that. So it was a difficult decision. But then I found alternatives. And
Alternatives?
yeah, like a freelance job. So I started going freelance. So because people were seeing my videos on YouTube, they knew what kind of style is my work. And so they could trust me. So I first convinced someone that I would take care of her social media for her. She has a brand, an event company. And then through her, I was able to get another client, which is a clothing brand. And then through that, I was able to get another restaurant brand. And then that restaurant offered me recommended me to another restaurant. So I have like 4 or 5, and then another podcast came up. So it's like 5 accounts that I handle, and I create content for them, which is nice.
On top of yours?
On top of my channel.
How are you keeping that up?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm used to working, like, that's okay. Another concept I don't understand in Ghana, like, there is this busy culture here. Like, I'm busy. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, I think, how to say, like, people panic over few working hours, right? I'm not talking about the working class, like the workers and stuff, they work hard. But I'm talking about office people. Like, you are going to work at 9 and you come back home by 4. It's like 7 hours a day, right? That makes it to 5 is what?
And if you take their drinking, especially the men, if you take their drinking evenings away from them, it's like, oh, how am I going to survive?
In China, I used to work 70 hours a week. And I was fine. I was traveling, I was meeting with my friends, I was partying with the 70 hours.
Do you think
so it's okay.
earning money in dollars, as you said, you mentioned something like you need dollar, it works as well, it helps?
That's the only way.
That's the only way. Is this part of?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just put my phone.
Yeah.
I think that because the dollar is not stable, I wouldn't have said it a year ago, but now dollar is changing every day.
Yeah.
So your salary is coming down every day. This is actually a Chinese song, you know that?
The song? Oh,
it's a military,
like
revolutionary military
do
song.
Do you miss China?
When I hear this,
I have a feeling that you miss
it.
China more than you miss Iran.
Because all my youth was my personality was shaped in China.
Oh, right.
And I left Iran, I was too young.
From what they say about China, right, and the Chinese, a lot of people, Ghanaians, blacks, who's been to China, never keep quiet about it.
Because it's horrible for black people.
Is it horrible? But they seem to make it seem like they enjoyed it.
They enjoy it? Oh, yeah. I hope they enjoy it. I mean, of course, there are so many things you can enjoy, but you cannot deny the racism. I'm sorry that I'm saying it so frank, but there is the deep-rooted racism that will not go away. If you're cool with that, then it's fine. There are many people who don't look at it, they don't pay attention to it, which is fine, but for me, I couldn't not see it.
So what do you like about Ghana?
about Ghana, so many
Apart from
things.
your husband,
The people.
the people.
The people are very, how to say, like they don't cause trouble. They're drama free.
Okay.
They're kind. I know that if I faint right now, someone will pick me up and take me to hospital.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that either in my country or China. My country better, but China no. Definitely not. Food is good.
Let's
Beautiful
sit again.
country.
Yeah.
The beach is good. You can go sit there.
Oh, okay.
Apart from the beach, there is, you are so close to the nature. You can go 30 minutes and you're in nature.
Okay.
That's something I like.
That's good. So, what is the future for you? Are you going to stay in a long time, or?
That's a difficult. I think that I don't put long term in my head just because I don't want to panic. I always tell myself 6 more months, 1 more year, and let's see how I will be by then. But I don't give myself that pressure of like, okay, this is the place, this is Ghana, this is where we are staying. I feel like that's better.
Your life is still shaping, isn't it? You're still shaping.
Yeah,
up.
I don't mind staying in Ghana forever. I'm okay.
But it depends
But
on what happens.
Yeah, I'm not like, yes, Ghana forever, right? No, I mean, what if things go really bad? Then I'm not staying. But for now, I'm okay.
Okay. So how is marriage with a Ghanaian man like?
Oh my gosh, it has good and bad, like everything else. But I think to my interest, is that even how you say it? Like it's interesting to me.
It's interesting.
That we have so much in common in our cultures, right? Like I find more similarities between Ghanaians and myself than I see with, let's say, China that I was living before here. There are good things, but the bad things are that the definition of things are sometimes different for us. Like in my language, some things are not bad, but I know in Tree or English, they're bad, right? Like people call someone stupid here. Like that's the worst insult you give someone. But for us, stupid is like a part of our language. Always say, oh, don't be stupid. Like, come on, this is so stupid. And I used to have that problem a lot with him.
Oh,
like I would be like, oh, come on, that's so stupid. Like,
oh, God.
and he'd be like, you called me stupid? Do you think I'm stupid? Because that's like with Jimmy, right?
Yeah, what you mean?
Which is in Ghana is really bad. Like when someone calls you Jimmy, it's like,
and you don't tell your husband.
yeah, like, or another issue that I had. But interestingly, our issues was never out there in China because we were both in a foreign culture. A lot of issues happened when we moved to Ghana because now it's his culture and it's the dominant culture. Like one of the first few months that I was in Ghana, we went to ShopRite and there was an argument between us, right? So I was like, come on, don't be like this, right? Like shouting. And like there were 3 aunties next to, and they all turned to us like judgmental. And he wasn't talking to me the whole day because it was like, you disrespected me to the level you don't know how. And I was like, I didn't
Because
really
people to us, people are like, you cannot control your wife. Like.
Yes, exactly. That's the look I was getting.
The house is your ship, and you should be able to.
Yeah,
be
and
the
then
captain.
it means like I think to them it meant like he's such a like. He doesn't know how to take care of his wife, right? That's basically the look that I got. And I was like, why think what people say?
To you are thinking it's a friend. It's my friend. And
like,
friends are
like,
goofy.
of
Friends
course,
are,
not every day I'm happy. There are days that I'm angry. There are days that I shout. But it's not, I've never seen a Ghanaian woman shout. Right? Yeah, I've seen Ghanaian women. I'm sorry.
No.
But like they are louder, but not to their husband. Like they don't talk to the husband, hey, like don't do, then the husband is like, is this small in people's eyes.
So this one, I don't know if my wife is happy for me to say this on camera, but one day we had an argument and she went into the bedroom and I wanted to go there and go like, it's not like that, and she's like, I can't take this anymore, get out. And this was the first time she actually shoved me out of her room.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, do you have that in you? Like, you start thinking, Do you have that in you?
But I
And,
just
yeah.
think that in a way, isn't that normal emotions? Like some days you're just angry.
I turn around too, and I also push the door, and me too. I was like,
You're also
no,
angry.
no, that's not. We
But
don't get to that
again,
level.
It's not something in your
Yeah.
culture. Women are not loud.
No.
Women are very they're very flexible, I would say. Like
So-
even if things are not going to their way, they're like quiet about it.
So do you have do you get alienated? Say friends come together and then the language changes to tree, and you are like, okay.
I don't mind here because I'm learning Tree, so I'm like, speak more, let me learn
okay.
more, right? I love that. But in China, I didn't like it
Okay.
because we were a group of Ghanaians, and all of them were dating different people from different cultures, and we would hang out together, and all the boys would speak Tree, and I hated it back then. I was like, this is disrespectful to me, because even when I'm around my Iranian friends and my husband is around, we never speak Farsi. We speak, not never, like sometimes we speak Farsi, but most of the time we try to speak English because
So
of that. To me, what back then was disrespecting, but now because I'm learning Tree, I'm like, please speak more. I want to get it.
Okay.
I'm no more kakra kakra. Yeah.
So in your house, is it 50-50? Is it a man can cook and we are good, or the woman has to cook?
Oh, no, it's 50-50. It has
50-50.
always been 50-50. And it's not, maybe if I was going to marry someone from Iran, it wouldn't have been 50-50. I had to do.
You had to cook.
Yeah. And I'm sure if he was going to marry someone from Ghana, the girl had to do. But because of the essence of our relationship that was built in a third country, that both of us were students and both of us had to put, we were equally working, equally studying. Both of us were tired. So we learned how to divide everything, all the responsibilities. So when we moved here, it was just natural. But I know it's not the case here. Sometimes his family or cousins come and they see he has cooked the food or he's washing the dishes, and they're like, what? What is happening? But again, his family is very chill. They are not judgmental.
If it's working for you, then
They know this is how we are built. But I know it's not the case, and it's not the case in my country either. Women do everything. They even after food they bring tea for their husband, which I don't do, So we are not the typical of our culture. So.
yeah. Okay. So take your husband out of it. In general, what do you think about Ghanaian men, maybe African men?
I hope my husband doesn't kill me. But no, I think you're handsome. Number one, I think Ghanaian men. I don't know. I've never been to anywhere else but Ghana in Africa, so I cannot talk about the rest of Africa. Ghanaian men are handsome. They know how to carry themselves. They always smell good. You smell good. Yeah, actually, for people
Thank
who are
you.
watching, you smell really
Thank
good.
you.
They smell good. They know how to talk. They know how to approach a woman, which these are good things. There are negative things like the sense of loyalty, I would say. I would say the sense of loyalty is very different. As in let's say in Iran, if you cheat on your wife and your family or your friends find out, they kind of don't want to associate with you. It's so disrespectful, it's so shameful that you are a part of our family, what shame you brought up. But here is a lot okay, how can we fix it? Now let's go to talk to the woman. It's very accepted, deep-rooted. Okay,
No, I know.
it happens, right? Men cannot control themselves. That's a negative part, I would say. And another negative part, I feel there's too much pressure on men here. I don't know how. You have to take care of your woman, you have to take care of your family, auntie, this person's funeral, that person's wedding. And as a man living in this economy, how is that even
can
possible?
affect your relationship with your wife.
And if you don't have it, people don't approach you, women don't approach you. If you don't have it, you don't get the respect even from your own fellas, own friends. These are, I think, that's too much for a man. And you don't show emotion.
Yeah.
You shouldn't cry on top of all of this. I want to cry for men here,
But don't you think women also have equally, they also have theirs? That's why. So we are typical hunting, and so we go and kill. We will go there, kill, and then you cook the food. We will go to the war, and you will have to clean our wounds. You will have to wash the blood off our shield. So it's that's why you think that, oh, there's a lot on the women. The women are the ones cooking. My auntie comes, you have to cook for my auntie. My friends come, you cook, but I will have to give you the kill. I'll have to give you the money.
I don't know, maybe because for women, I compare it to women of my country, and I feel like their hustle is not as much as our hustle.
Yeah.
Right? Like in here, the man basically takes care of you, pays for everything that you want to do. That's not most of the case in Iran.
Okay.
Right? So you
Ghanaian
do
women.
cooking and all that. Or like sometimes we go to his family gatherings, and they call someone to come and help them cooking the food.
Okay.
That can never happen in Iran. Like that shows you cannot take care of your house, right? So the pressure I feel like in Iran is, if you go to traditional, the modern women are different now, right? But in a traditional concept, I think that women all around the world are going through that, cooking for their husband, taking care of their husband. So it's kind of normal. But for men, it's a bit too much in comparison to other men. You lived in UK. How many of your friends from other countries, they had the pressure you have?
True.
Having to take care of someone back home, someone's funeral, uncle of auntie, someone, you have to pay for it.
Any final tips for me trying to come with 2 kids and a wife?
So I don't have kids, first of all, so I don't know how it is with having kids. I can imagine that it will be more difficult, because then it's not only you. As I mentioned, if you want to lower the quality of your life, I can, right? I can live in one place without anything, which is fine. But if you have kids, you have to provide for them. So I would say that it's more difficult. But just when you come to Ghana, I think you have to put everything you have in your mind outside the house and come in with like a baby. No expectation. Nothing, because the moment you bring your expectation that you have seen elsewhere, you are going to hurt yourself. Things are not going to change the way you want it. Things will change the way people will evolve, right? Ghana is evolving. The Ghana I came in 2019 is not the Ghana I'm seeing now. So it's evolving in a positive way. So
finally, you've got an amazing channel that I am so obsessed and jealous of.
Thank you.
Can you introduce it?
Yes, I changed the name. It used to be Anahita, but I changed it to Anahita, Anahita Ingan. Anahita Ingan. I think it represents me better.
Yeah. You know what? I've always dreamed about this day of meeting the good creator of Anahita, as I knew it. And I think you are really underrated, but everybody has got their own time on this platform. Just keep doing what you are doing.
Thank you. It's good to hear that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would also like to extend my profound gratitude to Decan Center, a place where you can get educated, research, and even create and edit content for free. Please go to decancenter.org for more information. I'll leave a link at the video description for easy access. I hope this video was helpful. If so, please give it a like. Please subscribe to Anahita in Ghana and this channel to follow our journey of experience. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.